My dear students, we have been discussing the chapter electric current since 3 classes. This is the 4th class. In this class, I take up the relation between the potential difference across a conductor and current flowing through it. That is the relation between voltage and current. We can find out the relation between voltage and current by doing a simple activity. To do this activity, we need an electric circuit. We need to set up an electric circuit as shown here. So this is electric circuit which is used to find the relation between voltage and current. So what are all the components which are connected in the electric circuit? 4 cells in series that constitute battery, nichrome wire of length about 0.5 meter, that is half meter, which is in the form of coil, ammeter, plug key, and then the plug key is to be connected to the battery. Now we are not yet connected. Voltmeter. Nichrome is a wire, it's an alloy made of nickel, chromium, manganese and iron. And you know what is ammeter and what is voltmeter. Ammeter is to measure current in the nichrome wire. Voltmeter is to measure voltage across the nichrome wire. One is to measure current in the nichrome wire and the other one is to measure the voltage or potential difference across the nichrome wire. Here is a switch. It is to make and break the circuit. Battery, nichrome wire, ammeter, plug key, all these are connected in series. Voltmeter is connected in parallel across the nichrome wire. What we have to do is, first we have to connect one cell to the circuit. Let me connect one cell to the circuit. So we have to connect one cell to the circuit. Only one cell is connected to the circuit. Now take the reading in ammeter and voltmeter. Ammeter shows how much current is flowing through the nichrome wire and voltmeter shows what is the potential difference, pressure difference, energy difference across the terminals of the nichrome wire. And after taking the readings, you have to tabulate the readings in the tabular column which is shown here. So you have to tabulate the reading current and here you have to tabulate voltage. Now after this you have to connect 2 cells. Let me connect 2 cells. I have connected 2 cells. Once again you take reading from ammeter and voltmeter and the same is tabulated in the tabular column in the respective column. Repeat the activity by connecting 3 cells and 4 cells and enter the readings in the tabular column. After entering the values, the readings in the ammeter and voltmeter, you have to find out the ratio of voltage to current. You have to find out the ratio of voltage to current in each case. Here we did 4 trials. So in each case you have to take the ratio of voltage to current. You will find out one thing, you can make out one thing, that the value of the ratio, that is V by I, seems to be approximately same. That means the ratio of voltage to current is constant. So the ratio of voltage to current is constant. You can make out from this column. In each case you will get approximately the same value. So we can conclude that the ratio of voltage to current remains constant. In other words, we can say voltage is directly proportional to current. Listen students, if the ratio of two varying quantities remains constant, means one quantity is varying directly with the other. To understand this, let me consider one more simple example. Here we have a list, another table, number of books and cost. The cost of one book is given, that is 10. Cost of two books is 20. Cost of three books is 30. Cost of four books is 40. Cost of five books is 50. Here, let me take the ratio. In each case, it becomes the ratio of number of books to the cost remains same. Here, what is the ratio? 1 by 10. What is the ratio? 2 by 20. On simplification, we get 1 by 10 only. 3 by 30, the ratio is once again 1 by 10. 4 by 40, that is 1 by 10. 5 by 50, 1 by 10. So what is constant here? The ratio is constant. So if the ratio of two varying quantities is constant, means one quantity is directly proportional to another. So we can say, since the ratio of voltage to current is constant, we can say that the voltage across a conductor is directly proportional to current. This itself is what is called as Ohm's law. It states that at constant temperature, we need to maintain constant temperature. By comparing two quantities, we need to keep other variables constant. So at constant temperature, the Ohm's law states, at constant temperature, current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to potential difference across the conductor. I repeat, Ohm's law states at constant temperature, current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference across the conductor. That is, V by I is R. In simple words, we can say, we can control the current by voltage. By varying the voltage, we can vary the current. If voltage is more, current is also more. If voltage is less, current is also less. So the flow, that means the current, can be controlled by voltage. Here, the ratio of voltage to current is constant, and that constant is called resistance of the conductor. Here the constant value you are going to get, that is the resistance of this conducting material. Nichrome is used. The value you are going to get here, that is the resistance of the conducting material which is used. Here we have used nichrome wire. So the value is the resistance of the nichrome wire. What actually resistance means? Students, we know that current means flow of charges. Charges are flowing through a conductor, is it not? So charges cannot move easily through the conductor because the conductor is made of atoms, is it not? So electrons, the charges, cannot move easily. The conductor obstructs the flow of charges. While the charges are flowing through the conductor, that means the atoms, obstruct the flow of the charges. That obstruction or opposition to the flow of charges by the conductor is called resistance of the conductor. Students, I repeat once again, electrons or the charges while flowing through a conductor, the atoms of the conductor restrict the flow of the charges. This obstruction or opposition by the conductor to the flow of charges is what is called as resistance of that conductor. So let me restrict the discussion of about resistance only to this much, because we need to discuss in the next class what is resistance, what causes resistance, and what are the factors on which resistance of a conductor in the next class. So what is the SI unit of resistance? SI unit of resistance is ohm, because it is volt by ampere. It is represented by a Greek symbol like this. SI unit of resistance is ohm or volt per ampere. It is represented by a Greek letter like this. R is equal to V by I. Voltage is measured in volt and current is measured in ampere. Resistance is measured in ohm. Resistance of a conductor is 1 ohm. Means if the potential difference across the ends of a conductor is 1 volt and the current flowing through it is 1 ampere, potential difference across the ends of a conductor is 1 volt and the current flowing through the conductor is 1 ampere, then the resistance is 1 ohm. 1 volt of potential difference and 1 ampere of current. Then the resistance of the conductor is 1 ohm. See, here once again let us consider the relation between voltage and current. Voltage is directly proportional to current. Now we have to plot the values we have obtained over here. We have to draw a graph. Plot current along x-axis and potential difference, that is voltage, along y-axis by taking a convenient scale. After plotting the current and corresponding voltage, you will get a straight line which is passing through the origin. Always you will get a straight line, a graph, straight line graph which is passing through the origin. Dear students, in the next class we will discuss how to find out the resistance of a conductor using this graph. Thank you.